Okay, have you ever finished a movie or a play and you're just completely wrecked by it, but the first thing you do is tell your friend, you have to see this? It's a strange impulse we have, right? This attraction to stories that leave us feeling totally devastated. Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on this exact thing to see how the tragic sausage gets made. I mean, it's a real paradox, isn't it? We actually pay good money to go sit in a dark room and watch a hero's life just crumble. So, why? What do we get out of all that secondhand misery? It turns out there's a formula for it, an ancient recipe for emotional devastation that we just can't seem to resist. And this is not a new trend, not by a long shot. For over 2,500 years, the plays of ancient Greece have been the absolute gold standard for this kind of story. And these aren't just dusty old scripts. They're constantly being studied and reimagined on modern stages, all because they tap into something really fundamental about being human. So, how does it work? Well, the blueprint for this whole emotional journey was laid out by the Greek philosopher Aristotle in his masterwork, The Poetics. He wasn't just describing sad stories, he was basically reverse engineering an emotional machine. See, for Aristotle, a tragedy is a very specific kind of story. It's a serious drama about a character's downfall, sure, but it's meticulously designed to make the audience feel two specific things: fear and pity. This isn't random, it's a precisely engineered experience. Now, what's really cool is how he breaks it down into a recipe. Think of it like this. You start with a great person, someone we admire. You give them one critical vulnerability, a fatal flaw. Then you engineer a shocking plot twist where everything goes wrong. And finally, you provide the audience with a profound emotional release. Let's see it in action. So let's look at the prime example. For Aristotle, the undisputed masterpiece, the perfect tragedy, was Sophocles' Oedipus the King. He saw it as the ultimate model for constructing this emotional roller coaster. First, you need that noble hero. And Oedipus is perfect. He's not just any king. He's a brilliant, beloved ruler who famously saved the city of Thebes by solving the riddle of the Sphinx. He's the guy everyone looks up to. We admire him, and that's absolutely crucial for what comes next. And this right here, this illustrates the engine of the entire play: dramatic irony. We, the audience, know something that Oedipus does not. He launches this passionate investigation to find a murderer and save his city from a plague, declaring himself its savior. The horrifying truth, which unfolds piece by agonizing piece, is that he is the source of the plague, the very criminal he's hunting. So what causes his downfall? His hamartia, or his tragic flaw. But it's not what you might think. Oedipus's flaw isn't that he's a bad person. It's that his greatest strengths, his intelligence, his decisiveness, his relentless drive for the truth, are pushed to a dangerous extreme. He simply can't let it go, even when he's warned to stop digging. And so begins one of the most masterful detective stories ever told. But in this story, the detective is unknowingly hunting himself. With every clue he uncovers, the noose just tightens, and he races towards a truth more horrible than he could ever possibly imagine. The first piece of the puzzle is an old prophecy Oedipus heard as a young man, that he was fated to kill his father and marry his mother. He thought he'd outsmarted destiny by fleeing his hometown forever, but of course, fate isn't so easily escaped. As he digs deeper, he remembers a violent argument at a crossroads years ago. Driven by pride and a quick temper, he killed a man and his entire entourage. What seemed like just a random act of road rage turns out to be a pivotal piece of the puzzle. His wife, Jocasta, tries to comfort him by saying prophecies are nonsense. To prove it, she tells him how she and her first husband, King Laius, abandoned their infant son to die because of a similar prophecy. But instead of comforting Oedipus, her story just clicks another horrifying piece of the puzzle into place. The final nail in the coffin comes from an old shepherd, the very man tasked with abandoning the baby all those years ago. His testimony confirms the unthinkable. Oedipus is the abandoned son of Laius and Jocasta. The man he killed at the crossroads was his father. The woman he is married to is his mother. And this brings us to the crucial twin engine of tragedy that Aristotle prized so highly. You have peripeteia, the shocking reversal of fortune, and it happens at the exact same moment as anagnoresis, the horrifying recognition of the truth. The quest to find the killer succeeds at the precise moment the hero realizes He is the killer. That's maximum impact. Which brings us right back to our first question. After witnessing this absolute train wreck, Jocasta's suicide, Oedipus blinding himself in horror, why do we feel a strange sense of satisfaction? Why aren't we just completely depressed? Aristotle's answer is one word: catharsis. It's the idea that by experiencing intense pity for the hero and fear that this could happen to us, we are purged of those emotions. We watch the horror unfold safely from our seats, and it cleanses our own emotional systems, leaving us with a strange sense of calm and clarity. The poet John Milton captured this feeling perfectly centuries later. After the storm of the climax, there's a quiet, calm of mind, all passions spent. It's that feeling of profound relief you get after a good cry. That's the cathartic payoff. But the effect is more than just emotional. Great tragedies endure because they force us to confront the biggest questions. Was Oedipus a puppet of fate, or did his own choices seal his doom? How much can we ever really know? And how quickly can a happy life be destroyed by a truth we didn't see coming? The play's final lines deliver this message as a stark warning. The chorus, representing the ordinary citizens of Thebes, concludes that no life can be judged happy until it's over, because fortune is just that fragile and unpredictable. Ultimately, the tragic formula is powerful because it mirrors our deepest fears. Oedipus's relentless search for a truth that destroys him is a terrifying cautionary tale, and it leaves us with a haunting question for our own lives. What truths are we choosing not to see?